Hello, all you gridiron fanatics. Glad you could join us here for another off-season edition of Gridiron Gab Pro Style. I am, of course, Mr. CeeLo here, talking all things pro football, from the scoops of the regular season to the scores of the postseason and the picks in the offseason. Let's start gabbing.
The autumn winds move like the thunderous waves of Neptune's sacred palace. And here, amongst the blackened soil, lies the ragged hands, worn, torn, and callous. They await with cunning and vicious prowess, for the warriors have returned.
Come on, Dirt! Don't do it! Woo! No way! Woo! 85! Crying out loud! You're making me, you're driving me nuts!
But behold,
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you all for joining us yet again on this off season. And honestly, we've started the free agent period. And oh my, we are going to talk about today the quarterbacks that got signed in just a day and a half. A day and a half into free agency, you guys, and there have been some just crazy moves made. And we'll start with our QBs. Probably the one that I think that has probably just confused everybody, like myself, was the Atlanta Falcons signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million deal.
What the dumb shit!
I'll talk about that in a minute, but many of you Commander fans, whom I have just a mountain of love for you guys, because you guys have really embraced my show that I did on you guys, and it is just awesome. It saddens me to know that you guys have moved on from Sam Howell, as many of you have commented on my show. You guys have encouraged my thought process that Sam Howell needed to be retained as your quarterback. And as I said, I am one of those that believes you have to continue giving a guy like Sam Howell opportunity, because you don't throw for nearly 4,000 yards and you're a scrub. I'm just gonna say that for the cheap seats. If anybody thinks that Sam Howell is a scrub, then honestly you're not watching. He just made a lot of decisions in games that you kind of just scratch your head at. There's no there's bad decisions being made by all quarterbacks. So many people that say that Sam Howell's not the answer in Washington, and I just disagree with that. I think you could have built a lot more around this guy. You really didn't have a great defense, and to ask this guy to really carry the load with the limited amount of receivers that he had was asking a bit much. I really think it was. And I think, him moving on to Seattle is probably going to be he's going to get a better opportunity with guys like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. But that was really one that made me scratch my head. That just basically opens a door that the Commanders are looking at a quarterback. It's probably going to be between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, because they both present so much. As I said, guys, I really am not sold on Drake May. He has all of the numbers that Mel Kiper Jr. looks for. We can say that Will Levis looked good last year, and Mel Kiper was all over that. But, hey, he's been wrong about guys like Jamarcus Russell. So, hey, I'm just going to throw that out there. Sorry. But I truly believe that they're probably going to take Jaden Daniels. But then I also said on my Commanders show that I did, I also believe that Caleb Williams is the guy that more than likely Cliff Kingsbury is going to want. So I'm thinking that Dan Quinn's probably going to be a guy that says, hey, you take what you want, I'm going to get you what you want. So more than likely, I'm thinking it's going to be Caleb Williams. But as I said, Commander fans, I hate reporting this. I was hoping that the Commanders would have steadfast and went with possibly trading down and getting so much talent that's in this draft, and you possibly could have gotten Michael Penix in the second round and still got your quarterback. But it didn't work out that way. Also, looking ahead, you see the Minnesota Vikings took Sam Darnold on a one-year deal. The details are coming. This looks more like a deal that the Vikings are probably either going to trade up or take their. In my opinion, the Vikings don't need to trade up. I think there's 3 quarterbacks left in this draft that you could very well take, and they would be pretty good players. Most people are down on Jordan Travis as well as Spencer Rattler. Now, Spencer Rattler's numbers, the little rumblings around the league are that he's a good player. I was not sold on Spencer Rattler. But as I said, Sam Darnold is already been touted as the guy to be the bridge quarterback. The question is, who are the Vikings going to take with their pick? And I think they pick number 11, if I recall correctly. The big 3 are going to be gone. And then I'm hearing rumblings that J.J. McCarthy is a guy that they like. Good luck with that. I'm just saying. I'm not a big J.J. McCarthy fan. And looking here, another move. Gardner Minshew was signed by the Las Vegas Raiders for 2 years, $25 million. And then there's also talks that the Raiders are in the look for a quarterback. And they also are interested in J.J. McCarthy from what I'm hearing through the grapevine. But I would think Michael Penix, with the type of weapons that they already have in Vegas, would be just tremendous. Could you imagine Penix throwing to Devontae Adams and Michael Mayer? That would be sick. And all they need to do in the draft is get another big wide receiver. Hint, hint, second round. Keon Coleman, possibly. This was a good move for the Raiders because, like I said, Gardner Minshew has been a journeyman, but he's always been up and down. He's been good. He's good. And then when he's been bad, it's generally he's been average. Not bad, but he's not been good enough to win. A lot of people don't like Gardner Minshew. I like him. I think he's a good player. And the one that was probably, I thought, was a reach considering Dave Canellis is in Charlotte right now was Baker Mayfield re-signing with the Tampa Bay Bucks. 3 years, $100 million. Now, granted, Mike Evans did re-sign. You still have that plethora of receivers over there. But I still have a question about whether Baker Mayfield can. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Canellis wasn't as good as people think he is. I don't know. But maybe Baker can repeat. But Baker wasn't that good. The NFC South was that bad, and that defense that Tampa Bay had was pretty darn impressive. So now Baker's got to prove it on his own. He's still got the weapons. So I'm kind of questioning why they put $100 million into Baker Mayfield. It's just, that was kind of...
What a dumbass!
And then probably one of the most dramatic... Well, the 2 most dramatic stories of them all was Russell Wilson signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 1-year deal for $1.2 million. This one is a bargain for the Steelers in that, to me, the Steelers, now, we'll talk about the Deontay Johnson trade later, which is, in my opinion, going to change this whole narrative unless the Steelers are going to go in the draft and get themselves another wideout, which is probably, a given. But Russell Wilson, let's not forget, he threw one of the best deep balls in the league for about 7 to 8 years. And this is not something you just forget. And then he's got George Pickens. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit because you do have 6'4", 6'5" Cortland Sutton. And his numbers were down. But, some of that has to do with scheme. And possibly some of it has to do with protection. I look at for what the Steelers like to do. I think this is a match made in heaven because he throws such a great deep ball. What does Pickens like to do? He likes to catch the ball in one-on-one deep scenarios. He loves that stuff. I mean, he excels at it. You can't say Cortland Sutton excelled at it. T. Higgins and George Pickens are on that level. They excel at deep ball one-on-ones. They do, jump balls. This is where all Russell Wilson, you're not asking him to drop it in a bucket like you had to do in so many situations. All he's got to do is get it there. Pickens is going to make a play. And then, of course, you got Najee Harris, whom is effective in the running game. But I will say this, the Steelers are going to have to upgrade that offensive line. So because a lot of the problems they've had has been protection and run blocking. But the Steelers with this move get to go back to what their bread and butter is they run the football and throw it deep. They beat you down the field. And I think this turns out to be a good recovery, but I remember hearing an analyst say, Mike Tomlin, he's always going to get to 500. Well, in this case, 9 wins. But overall, I love the deal. I think, I've got things coming in right now, guys. It's crazy. I was sick yesterday, you guys, so I wasn't able to keep up. So if you guys are following me and you're wanting me to get this stuff out here, I'm doing the best I can, you guys. This stuff is just coming. And then the one that probably just blew my mind was Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. 4 years, $180 million. And they're talking about tampering. I don't care about all that tampering stuff. It's whatever. You know what you want to do as a franchise. I honestly believe that the folks in Minnesota were tired of hearing the rumblings, about like the fans in Denver were tired of Sean Payton slamming Russell Wilson, which karma is going to come back to Sean Payton. I don't care how hard he tries. This is not going to work out in his favor. Russell Wilson, you were a class act. I respect you, bud. Much more than what the whole thing with Kirk Cousins was. And I'm not saying Kirk Cousins was a bad guy. I just think at the end of the day, Minnesota embraced you. And for you to act like that the Vikings owed you something when they paid you, from what I'm hearing, in essence of $185 million, and all you had to account for that was 2 playoff appearances and 1 win. And you want to get paid with the elites. No. And as far as the Falcons go, the Falcons have the weapons there with Algiers, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. They're going to have to get another wide receiver. That's a position they're very thin at right now. But Kirk Cousins left that position he had in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, a guy they traded for you. And then they get Jordan Addison in the first round.
Bruh.
I don't know how much better it gets. And then you've had some years where you've had some good defenses. Some really good defenses. You couldn't get it done. So I question Atlanta. I get it. Raheem Morris wants a guy out there that can pretty much dictate the offense. I get that. But Kirk Cousins has a reputation of not being able to show up in the big moments. He just does. And people will say, well, it's his defense. He's had some pretty darn good defenses. Some good defenses. He hasn't been able to get it done. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because Drake London does not get a lot of separation. Kyle Pitts, we haven't seen the best of him yet because we've really never had an offensive coordinator that knows how to get him open. You got some coaches that want to, well, we don't want to treat him like a wideout because we don't want to pay him like a wideout.
Dumb shit! Dumb shit!
That's why you ain't a head coach right now. Good luck with that, Mike Tomlin. That's going to be one. But, guys, right now, we've got left on the board, we've got Ryan Tannehill unsigned, Tyler Huntley, and Joshua Dobbs. But I'll go through the significant ones. Like I said, Sam Howell was traded today to the Seahawks. Josh Johnson re-signed with the Ravens. Mason Rudolph will give Malik Willis a push for that backup quarterback position behind Will Levis. Drew Lock signed with the Giants. And, of course, as we said, Sam Darnold is the starter more than likely for the Minnesota Vikings. Tyrod Taylor was signed to back up Aaron Rodgers, and Jameis Winston has signed with the Cleveland Browns to back up Deshaun Watson. I would have thought Joe Flacco would have got that job, but hey. Jacoby Brissett is signed with the Patriots. More than likely, the Patriots are still going to take – more than likely, he's going to be a bridge quarterback. He's done a good job at doing that. He's been great at times. And, of course, as we said, Gardner Minshew signs with the Raiders. But, guys, let me know what you think about our quarterbacks that signed yesterday. If you got a problem with some of the thoughts that I have about whether it's Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson, please drop a line to me. Keep all that love coming, you guys. I really appreciate doing this because it's been a madhouse the last couple of days. But I'm going to do my best to keep up with it. But until the next time, you guys. Oh, make sure you check me out on Facebook. Of Gridiron Guy Pro Style, same name, and also go to my Instagram if you have comments and questions of Mr. CeeLo. And make sure you comment down here, you guys. Keep them coming. I love it. Thank you so much, you guys. But until the next time, same Gab channel, same Gab platform.
But behold, there is a warm breeze that comes from the west. The blazing sounds of victory fuel their everlasting quest. It is a call to arms, for they are here. An army that has the will to challenge and the